Pardon me as I try to get this stand to hold up. There we go. Okay. So welcome to Lunge Fitness. Thanks for dealing with that little technical functionality issue there. Kate, I'm so excited to share with you a nice restorative Sunday yoga flow. So when we think yoga, I typically think of a lot of like dynamic stretching, and I like to finish every workout with some restorative yoga, which is more like static stretching and holding those yoga poses and breathing into them. So let's start on all fours. Hands and knees are spread nice and wide on the mat. I want you to inhale. You're going to drop your belly button down, relax your shoulder blades down your spine. And just take a nice gaze upwards. I don't want you to strain your neck, but just a little gaze upwards. And then exhale. Push through the mat, look towards your belly button. We'll do a few more cat-cows. So inhale, drop that belly button down, shoulder blades down the spine. Exhale, hollow. Now, if you'd like to add some movement to that, we can go in little circles here. So inhale, arch, exhale, hollow. Inhale, we arch, shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, hollow, look towards that belly button. Eventually, we'll switch that direction. So inhale, going towards that opposite direction. Exhale, hollow, look towards your belly button. One more time, inhale and exhale. Good job. Coming to a neutral spine. Let's extend opposite arm, opposite leg for a nice bird dog. Suck up through that midsection here. And we hold for 2 and for 1, lowering down. Again, opposite arm, opposite leg, like someone's pulling you forward and pulling you back simultaneously for 2 and 1. Extending out. Exhale down. Inhale, we extend. Exhale back down. Nice job. Now, at the top of the inhale, I want you to tuck your toes. We'll take our first downward dog of the day. So spin your biceps towards your ears. You can keep a slight bend in the knees. Maybe sway a little side to side. Just breathing into any parts that seem like they need some extra love. Maybe you walk out the dog pushing an opposite palm, opposite heel. On the next inhale, I want you to take tippy toes, exhale heels. Inhale tippy toes, exhale heels. Great job. On the next inhale, I want you to ripple your spine forward to a nice plank position. And then exhale, lift those hips for a nice down dog. One big breath there. Inhale, ripple the spine. Exhale, hips high to the sky. Deep breath. So 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. Last time here. Inhale. And exhale. Great job. On the next inhale, I want you to take your left leg, reach it high to the sky. Option to bend at the knee to open up at the hip here. Inhale, reach that leg nice and high. Exhale, bring that knee in all the way through both hands. Keep your right hand planted. Left arm goes up. As you inhale, look towards your left fingertips. Exhale, drop the bottom knee down. Coming through a nice low lunge here. So sending everything forward, getting that nice opening through the front of that right hip. Maybe you use some yoga blocks by your side, if that's enough of an opening for you. If you want to try reaching your arms overhead, that's an even deeper stretch. Eventually, we'll take a twist over to that left side. leading with the crown of your head. So every inhale lengthens us up, every exhale twists us a little deeper inward. Inhale, we come back up and through. Exhale, we'll take a runner's lunge. So sit back on that right heel. Think of pulling your left hip back and down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, try to pull your left tootsies towards your nose here. Eventually, we'll come out to the outside of that left foot. I want you to keep your right hand planted. Grasp your right tootsies. Pull your heel in towards your bum. Maybe you come on down to the forearm for a deeper stretch, but making sure you're twisting your chest open towards the ceiling or towards the sky. One more big deep breath here. Push those tootsies into your hand to get a nice spinal twist here. Eventually, coming on out of this one, take a nice lizard pose here. So really getting into the hips. If you want to keep your leg down where it is and stay up on your hands, if this is deep enough for you, perfectly fine. If you'd like to come back onto your forearms here, that's an even better opening for that left hip. Again, you're kind of rocked onto the outside of that left foot here. From here, I want you to tuck your right tootsies under, and you're gonna stay on your forearms for a nice plank here as you step that left foot back. So nice plank here. Any pressure in the lower spine, drop on down to the knees to modify, right? Just notice that my bum's not way back here up in the air. I'm not arching, right? So my shoulders are slightly over my forearms, and I'm crossing my feet behind me. If you can't cross your feet, that's okay. Just make sure that you're assuming the right position and your bum's not way in the air and your hips aren't dropping. We'll hold it here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It's always great to get your core going and staying nice and strong, working functionally for you in the morning. 3, 2, and 1. So we're dropping down onto our bellies. I want you to take your forearms to the mat, pull them in towards your rib cage. As you relax your shoulder blades down your spine, take that gaze upwards. Exhale, bring your ear to the mat. We'll go for that one again. So forearms shoulder width, pulling your elbows back towards your rib cage as you look upwards. Exhale, bring your ear to the mat. This time I want your hands nice and wide with your grip. Side of your chest, tuck your toes under. We'll take the full expression here, pushing nice and strong for an upward dog or cobra. And then exhale, knees wide, feet together. Take a nice breath or two in your child's pose. When you're ready, leaning back on all fours, we'll tuck the toes, send the tailbone high to the sky, spin your biceps towards your ears for a nice down dog. Again, sway a little bit side to side, maybe pedaling things out. Things should be a little more pliable at this point. And that rippling of the spine we'll do twice here. So inhale, we ripple the spine. Exhale, tailbone high to the sky. Inhale, ripple your spine, wave it forward to a nice plank. And exhale, tailbone high to the sky. On the next inhale, raise that right leg high to the sky. Option to bend at the knee to open up at the hip. Inhale, I lift that leg. Exhale, pull it all the way through in between those hands. Keep your left palm planted. Inhale, raise your right arm up as you look towards your right fingertips. Exhale, drop the bottom knee down. Coming through a nice low lunge here. If this is enough for you, that's perfectly fine. Maybe use some yoga blocks to come on up. Maybe your hands reach overhead to get that nice opening in the front of that left hip. And maybe we take a twist over towards that right side, leading with the crown of our head. Inhale, lengthening, and every exhale, twisting us in a little deeper. Coming back through, we'll take that nice inhale, open up the front of that left leg. Exhale, think of pulling your right hip back and down for a nice runner's lunge. Try to pull those tootsies towards your nose here. Breathing into it, nice and easy. This should feel great for your entire right posterior chain if you're doing this correctly. Maybe you even feel it into your right lumbar region. And then we'll come forward, rock again onto the outside of that right foot. Left fingertips stay planted. Pull those left tootsies in towards your glute here for a nice twist. So everything's open towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Maybe come on down to a forearm for an even deeper stretch here. Again, making sure we're pushing those tootsies in towards that hand, getting that nice spinal twist. One more big deep breath. And eventually, nice and gently, we'll come out of that one to a nice lizard pose. So, both hands are on the inside of that right foot. If this is enough of a stretch for you, perfectly fine. If you want to take it even deeper to a lizard, we'll come on down to our forearms. Again, you can be on the outside of that right foot a little bit. Keep your forearms planted on the mat as you step that right foot back to your nice plank position. So again, bum's not in the air, hips aren't sinking down. I'm kind of rocking a little bit forward and back, side to side. Engaging that core, shoulders are over forearms here. Easy modification to drop down to the knees if you need to. We'll hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Now let's drop to the knees for the modified version. Another 10 seconds here. Suck up through that belly. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring in your belly to the mat. Hands by your chest, fingertips nice and wide. Tuck your toes under. Inhale as you push through to a nice upward dog or cobra. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips all the way to downward dog. Sway a little side to side here. The next inhale, we'll take tippy toes. Exhale, heels. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, heels. Push that chest down towards the mat. And we'll take a nice stroll. No rush, just one step at a time, nice and easy, to the top of our mats here. And then fold in a little bit deeper. Relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders here. The next inhale, we'll take a flat back. So my gaze is looking outward, my shoulders are relaxed, core is engaged. Exhale, fold. Bending at the knees, I'm gonna roll it up one vertebra at a time, nice and easy. Shoulder blades come back and down.
Big inhale, I take up all that space. Exhale, lead with your chest, swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll bend the knees again, roll it up one vertebra at a time. So nice and easy here. Head, neck, and shoulders come up last. Roll the shoulder blades down and back. Big inhale, take up all that space. Exhale, fold through prayer center. Inhale again, flat back. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back. Nice, strong push-up position here. And from here, we'll take a nice side plank on the left. So lifting through your side body, using your left oblique. Maybe you stagger your stance or drop to a knee to modify. If not, you can stack your stance, really lifting through that left oblique. If you're up for it, even try to raise that top leg for 3, 2, and 1. We'll meet back in the middle. And same thing again on that opposing side. Lift through your right oblique, nice and strong, drop to the knee, stagger your stance if you need to modify. Maybe you take a tree pose, or you lift your top toes for 2 and 1. We'll meet back in the middle. And one more time on each side. So lift through your side body here. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Meeting back in the middle. Same thing again on that opposing side. Lifting nice and strong through that side oblique. For 3, for 2, and for 1. Back in the middle here. Now what I want you to do is drop onto the knees. Hug your elbows in by your side as you lower. Exhale. Push up. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we push up. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, push. One last time. Inhale, lower. Exhale, take that nice down dog. Right from that push-up position. So again, spin your biceps towards your ears, nice and wide grip on the mat. Pushing your chest down towards the mat. We'll take a nice little stroll again to the top of the mat, one step at a time, no need to rush. Just nice and easy, eventually folding forward, relaxing your head, neck, and shoulders. On the next inhale, bend your right knee. Keep your right hand on the ground. Inhale, raise your left arm looking up towards those left fingertips. Keeping the right knee bent, exhale. Bring your left fingertips to the mat. That should feel like a great posterior chain opening on that left side. Now we'll bend the left knee. Inhale, raise the right arm looking up towards your right fingertips. Exhale. Fingertips come down, keeping that left knee bent, feeling that nice posterior chain all through that right side this time. Good job. Inhale, we'll take a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, rolling it up one vertebra at a time. Shoulder blades come back and down. Big inhale. Exhale, fold through prayer center. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Jump or step your feet back to that nice push-up position. From here, dropping down to the knees. Inhale, lower, hug the elbows by the rib cage. Exhale, push. Inhale, we got it, lower. Exhale, push. Inhale, we lower. Exhale, we push. One last time here. Exhale, push. From here, reach that tailbone high to the sky, spin the biceps towards your ears. Couple deep breaths. Great job. On the next inhale, I want you to take tippy toes. Exhale, heels. Inhale, tippy toes. Exhale, heels.
We'll take that stroll up to the top of the mat, getting things moving along a little bit faster here, folding, relax the head, neck, and shoulders. This time, bending the left knee. Inhale, raise the right arm up, looking toward your right fingertips. As you exhale, keeping that knee bent, bringing your other hand to the mat. Again, nice stretch in the right posterior chain. Changing sides, right knee bends. Inhale, looking up towards your left fingertips. Exhale, keeping that right knee bent. Left fingertips meet the mat. Feeling that nice stretch into the lumbar spine if you're doing this correct on the left side. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. This time we're going to fold into a little ball here, and then we're going to roll it up one vertebra at a time. Inhale, take up all that real big reach overhead. Exhale, lead with your chest as you swan dive forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll get in that ball position from here. Nice and easy, one vertebra at a time. Inhale, take up all that room. Exhale, swan dive forward. From here, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Once you take your heels out to like the ends of the mat here, so much so that your tootsies are off the mat. So they're pointing outwards, right? I'll turn and face you guys so you guys can see a little bit better. So tootsies are out, right? And I'm gonna use my elbows to kind of push my knees outward, and my hands are here in prayer center. From here, maybe you want to do a little opening, so right arm comes up overhead, exhale down. Same thing with the other side. Back down. I'm just going to turn back to my initial position here. I want to place my hands on the ground here, and I want to see if I can, maybe right here to start. However, if you're able to, suck up through that midsection and bring those feet up off the mat. It's a nice challenge. So resting your knees on your elbows here. Try to come into crow pose. We'll try this 2 more times here. So see if you can really get that core activation here and get a good hold. Eventually easing our way out of this, coming down to our buns. Sitting up nice and tall. Fingertips, or palms I should say, face the ceiling, and we're gonna roll it down one vertebra at a time. So think of nice and straight and long with the spine, and then taking it one vertebra at a time down, nice and slow. Take your knees with you for the ride. Hug them in, give yourself a little back massage, side to side. Great job. From here, feet are shoulder width, knees are bent. Heels are close to your bum. Relax through your shoulders, palms are down. Inhale. Making sure your lumbar spine is in contact with the mat. On an exhale, I want you to push through your heels. Relax your shoulders here. And then as we lower, we're going to think of lowering down our cervical spine, our thoracic spine for 4, our middle back for 3, and finally our lumbar spine for 2 and for 1. Big breath in. Exhale, lift, pushing through the heels. Again, relax through the shoulders. If you want to go for this too, so I'm rolling my shoulder blades underneath me
for a nice chest opening. I got my hands hooked underneath, really rolling those shoulder blades underneath you, thrusting those hips forward, pushing through the heels. You'll get a nice chest opening here. And when you've had enough of that, simply unroll the shoulders, keeping your hips lifted. We'll lower again for 5, 4, nice and slow, 3, your middle back, 2, and finally your lumbar spine for 1. One more of those. Exhale, we lift. Again, if you want to roll your shoulder blades underneath for a nice chest opening here, go for that. Pushing through those heels, activating the glutes. And then once you've had enough, again, we unroll the shoulders, keeping the hips lifted. We lower first our thoracic spine for 4, for 3, then our middle back for 2, and finally our lumbar spine makes contact with the mat for 1. Good. Hug in those knees again. Give yourself a nice little back massage. And then what I want us to do is we're going to hug in our right knee. So my right hand is on the outside of my right knee. I'm going to take my left hand to the bottom of that right foot. My left leg is extended out straight, about 1.5 inches off the ground. Eyes are up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to alternate. Again, keeping the shoulder blades off the mat. That straight leg is out about 1 inch or 2. The higher up you have that extended leg, the easier this is going to be. But with guidance from our hands, this should be a little bit easier, kind of similar exercise to some bicycles, but we're really providing that knee and that foot some stability by holding on. Halfway. Give me 2 more each side. 2, 2, last 1. Good. Hugging the knees in again. Nice back massage. Relax your head down. Both feet shoulder width on the mat. Let's take our arms out to a T here. And we'll windshield wiper our knees. So I'm going to drop my knees over to my right as I look over my left shoulder. Inhale to the middle. Exhale. Knees over to the left. Look towards the right shoulder. Big breaths. Inhale to the middle. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to the middle. Exhale over to the left. Let's do a couple more of those. Great job. When you guys have had enough of that, we'll hug our knees in. Let's extend the right leg out this time. Shoulder blades off the ground. Left hand outside of left knee. Right hand on the inside of the bottom of that left foot. So again, the right leg's extended. Left knee hugs in. Shoulder blades off the ground. Eyes towards the ceiling. Exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Switch. Keep going here. See, very similar exercise like bicycles, but we have a little more guidance here with our hands holding on to the knee and the bottom of the foot. Give me 3, 3, 2, 2. Last one, exhale. And then we'll hug both knees in, relax your head down. Great job. All right, this time, what I want you to do is take your feet close to your bum. We're gonna bring our left foot in more towards the midline. Take our right leg, cross it over our left, arms out to a T again. And we're gonna just nice and gently drop both of our knees over towards that right side as you gaze over your left shoulder. Breathing deep. And when you're ready, we'll meet back here. Now I want you to take your right leg high to the sky. Your left heel should be close to your bum here. Hands down by your side. Inhale. On an exhale, you're lifting your hips up, driving that right heel up towards the ceiling. And we'll lower for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Lift. Lower for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale. Exhale, drive through that left heel. Push the right heel up towards the ceiling. Lower. Last time here. On the exhale, drive that heel up. We're going to go for little pulses here. 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keeping the hips lifted as we lower down one vertebra at a time. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. I want you to cross that right leg over the left again. This time I want you to pull in both knees. Rock a little side to side. See if you can grab both heels here or close to the heels. You should feel a nice gluteal opening here. Trying to keep the knees stacked. Rock a little side to side. Nice job. Okay, releasing out of that. You could shake your legs out a little bit if you'd like to. In fact, let's take our arms and legs over our head. So extending your limbs out, we're going to reach opposite arm, opposite leg towards the end of the room. And then again, opposite arm, opposite leg reaches towards opposite ends of the room. Great job. One more time, reach, elongate the entire body from your left heel all the way to your right fingertips. Release. Last time, right heel reaches towards the end of the room while your left fingertips reach towards that opposite end of the room. And hug it on in. Okay, so feet are close to your bum here. We're going to take that right foot in more towards the middle as we cross our left leg over. Arms out to a T. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to drop both knees over towards the left as you gaze over your right shoulder. Give me a few deep breaths here. It's always good to have a rest and restorative day. I mean, it's okay to get in some cardio, but it's great to get in some restorative yoga at least once a week. Last breath here. Let it all out. And then we'll come back to the middle here. We're going to bring our left tootsie towards the ceiling. I'm I'm actually flexing my foot, so my heel is going to go towards the ceiling. Palms are down by my side. Inhale. As I exhale, I'm going to lift my hips and try to get that heel imprinted on the ceiling, and then lower down one vertebra at a time for 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale, we lift. Lower. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Keeping those hips lifted. Last time here. So remember, we're going to hold it up, and I want little pulses here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it, and lower one vertebra at a time. 2 and 1. Nice job. Cross that left leg over the right one. We're going to hug in both knees. If you can grab the bottoms of each foot, that'll give you an even deeper stretch. More into the gluteal muscles here. Flex both feet to get that deep gluteal stretch. Rock it a little side to side to get into some space that may need an extra breath or two. Eventually, we're coming out of that one. Great job, guys. Okay, from here, I'm going to rock onto my right side. Now, I'm going to take my hands to the back of my head. I want my hips forward, so everything kind of in alignment here. We're going to go for some clamshell exercises. So pretend you have headlights on both of your hips. I have my left hand on my left hip to kind of guide me. And all I want here is a little range of motion. So I don't want you to roll onto the back of your thigh. I want you to think of keeping your headlights facing forward. So if that means your range of motion is literally like right here, that's okay. We're just exhaling and inhaling. Exhale, inhale. The hips are such an integral part of exercise programming, and people underestimate them, but a lot of people compensate, like for squat movements or for lunges. They'll integrate hip muscles, or even when we're doing like a plank hold, people will use their hip muscles as opposed to their core muscles because they are very close, right? And it can be easy to distribute some of that tension into our hips. And we want our hips nice and strong. So that we're able to do those basic exercises like squats or weighted squats, right? So we really can't accomplish much until we have proper postural alignment and proper core function. So this exercise is for your hips, but it's a little bit integral because your core tends to compensate your hips, and we don't want that. So we want to fully be able to activate our core and know the difference between when our hips are compensating for our core as opposed to our rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, our obliques, our multifida. Good. Once you've done about 12 of those, great. We're going to take our left foot and place it in front. So my heel is on the ground. Pardon me just a sec, you guys. Okay, so we're going to be lying flat again. And this time I want your left foot, you can use your hand to kind of keep it in place, but what we're doing is little hip adductions. So I'm taking my right foot, lifting it, and then lowering. So exhale as you lift, inhale, lower. Again, using my hand to rest my head on. Halfway's here. Now I want you to focus on, for these last 5, is flexing your foot, lifting. I want you to point your toe, flex, lift, and lower. So flex, point, flex, lift, lower. Flex, point, flex, lift, lower. Give me one more of those. Good job. Okay, so we're gonna rock onto the outside of that left hip now. Going back into our clamshell exercises. So my head is rested on my left fingertips here. My hips are forward, everything's in alignment. My knees are slightly bent. Exhale, lift that top leg, inhale. Now remember, you don't have to have a huge range of motion, but you want to remember the headlight should be facing forwards when doing this. So exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Give me a few more here. Here's 3. Here's 2. Last one. Okay, so straightening everything out, we're going to take our right leg. You can use your right hand to guide it. And again, we're going to do those pulses. So exhale, left leg lifts, inhale, lower. Exhale, inhale. Lifting that bottom leg up. That's halfway. Now again, let's practice. So we're gonna flex, point, flex, lift, lower. Lift as we flex, point the toe, flex, lift, lower. Last few here, lift. Can you give me 2 more? Here we go. Job. Okay, so as far as our hips go, let's give the hips a little love here. So we're gonna be on all 4s here. I'm gonna take my right leg, cross it over my left, and then simply try and sit back here. This is a great hip opener. So if you just want to sit back into it and really open up those hips, if you walk your hands out forward. Keep those knees stacked, one on top of the other. And then we'll come out and do the same thing on the other side. So I'm literally just coming forward here to make sure that my knees are stacked, one on top of the other. And you may notice little discrepancies. Maybe one side was a little easier than the other. That's perfectly normal. But what we're trying to achieve essentially, if we want to move towards loaded or weighted exercises. We want to make sure that we have achieved muscle balance, because without that, we tend to do compensatory movement patterns. And with compensatory movement patterns comes injuries. And injuries is a no-go, right? We don't want any injuries. So we must make sure that we are achieving muscle balance through proper strength training as well as flexibility, right? Makes sense. So when we strengthen one muscle, we're lengthening another. And then when we do the opposite, when we're strengthening the quadricep, we're lengthening the hamstring. And when we're strengthening the hamstring, we're lengthening the quadricep. So if we go for ultimate muscle balance and we're able to work on flexibility of both of those muscles, then we have proper muscle balance. So I'm going to go on to the outside of that right hip. And we're going to do a few side planks here. So I have my forearm on the mat. You can stagger your stance or drop to a knee if you want to modify. Inhale, I'm going to lower. Exhale, I lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Only 3 more. So inhale, exhale. Hold it here. Really try to lift through that oblique here. Nice and strong. Bring your arm over your head, out in front of you, by your side, back up. Hand overhead, out in front, by your side, and up. Last time. And lower. Whew. Bending my right and left legs here. We'll take a nice side stretch. And over to the left. So finishing nice and strong here with some side planks. And anything worth doing is worth doing twice. So whatever exercises I showed you here, try to get in another set throughout the day if you can. Last one, hold it here. Arm goes overhead, out in front, by your side. Inhale, we reach. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. Lift those hips. Big reach for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, bending the left and the right knee. Big reach. And finally, we'll meet again on all fours. Tucking the toes, lifting the hips, biceps spin towards your ears. Take a nice down dog. Couple deep breaths, push that chest down towards the mat. Inhale, tippy toes, exhale, heels. Inhale, tippy toes, exhale, heels. Inhale, raise the left leg, option to open up by bending at the knee, opening the hip. Inhale, I lift. Exhale, pull forward. Inhale, look up at those left fingertips. Frame yourself so tootsies and hips are facing forward. We'll open up to a warrior here. Nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Take your front palm, flip it, reach. We'll take a nice reverse warrior here. Exhale, elbow comes to knee, extended side angle. Spinning your heart open towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Coming out of that one. Both tootsies facing forward. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open up that chest. And then lead with your chest as we take a nice forward fold here.
Couple deep breaths. Exhale. Good. Walking your hands back over to that left side. Back again with that lifted leg. We'll place it back down. Transfer. Right leg comes up towards the sky. Option to bend at the knee to open up at the hip here. Inhale as I lift. Exhale as I pull it through.
Inhale, looking towards those right fingertips. Exhale, hips are square, everything's facing forward here. I'm going to open up to a warrior. I'm just going to turn around so you guys can see me. So we're opening up to that warrior 2 here. Relax through the shoulders, flipping the front palm, reach forward. Slide your left hand down your back thigh, maybe straighten out the front leg, get a deep stretch here. Extended side angle, elbow comes to knee, spinning your heart open towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Use your left arm to carry you up. Windmill, both tootsies facing forward. Interlace your hands once again behind your back. Lead with your chest as you fold for a nice forward fold.
Couple deep breaths here. Okay, coming on out of this one, we'll walk our hands over to that right foot, step it in, roll it up one vertebra at a time. Head, neck, and shoulders come up last. Big inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, plug into that heart center. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for visiting Launch Fitness. If you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button. I'd love to hear back from you. And until next time, peace out from Launch Fitness. Thanks for visiting.